Alright, just so we can clear the air about this platforming thing. Just because a person films someone's videos for their channel and edits them, and promotes them on their own channel by inviting their audience to go over there, that doesn't mean I helped him in any way. I did not put him on... What? What do you mean? Natter said that? Oh, he is so full of... I did all the work for the whole entire channel. He would be nowhere without me, okay?
What are you doing?
I'm just clearing the air here.
Clearing the air. Channel and... Oh, no.
By the way, did I tell you guys I was in Aries? Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark. And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back and happy Saturday. It is the weekend. We are having coffee in the afternoon. Actually, I'm into half calf now because I pretty much stopped drinking it. With actual milk in it, not almond stuff. So I hope everyone's well. I hope everyone's safe. Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Thank you for tuning in after our hiatus for a couple weeks. Life has been happening lately. It almost happened today. But here we are. You're here, I'm here, and we're gonna do our best to stay abreast of what's going on with Chantal. Our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal, Chantopoulos, and Foodie Beauty again now. So, wasn't here last week for a lot of what went on. As I was keeping up with it, it was the same old, same old. Just by looking, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I only bits and pieces from the week before because everyone knows what happened 2 weeks ago. Everyone knows what happened 20 minutes ago, usually online. So I'm going to bring up the things that are going on just within even the last short week, few days, with Chantal. So we're going to go over her boy problems. She's got a few, 99 problems, but a boy ain't one. Also, Repsian, who I've been mispronouncing the name of, all while getting ready for this, is another larger YouTuber who's had interactions with Chantal, and maybe Natter going forward. We'll see. And it's all in Natter's name anyway. All of this, every move she makes and breathes, is all to get his attention and to get his approval and to get, to get him to want her back. To undo the fact that he found someone else and moved 2 hours away. That's the best indication that he likes Chantal, right? So, alright, so let's just jump in a little bit. So, boy problems. Her boy problems. Now, according to Chantal, she has a boyfriend for every light on Broadway. And one comes out, she just screws in another. And she has more men with her. I gotta say, I imagine she's probably seeking male attention in the volume that she is. But the idea that every single one of these men was gonna fall for her, was gonna into her, loved her body, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe it. I believe there's a few guys she's trying to chase down. That's honest. And she's going for her stereotype, which is searching pretty much the Mediterranean and Middle East. So, she had a boyfriend this week for like a few minutes. One of the best examples of Chantal's self-centeredness was the guy who came and left in a day. She met a guy online the other day and had been talking to him. And he lived in Cyprus, which she didn't know where it was. And they've been talking for a couple days, probably, at most. Like, maybe last night she was up late and was talking to him. Then the next thing happens after that day, is she has a boyfriend. She's taken and she's off the market. She's never off the market. She cheats. She'll just sleep with who she wants, and you better hope it's you all the time. That's it. Or she alleges cheating to try to get Natter's attention. That's a whole other freaking thing. Not to be done, she went through her usual profile of middle-aged men with no prospects who don't live in Canada, who are thinking about moving there. She obviously thinks that her ability to get a man into the country is her prowess. She's very convinced of her prowess. until they don't want to see her again or talk to her again, or they watch some of her channel. Can she honestly be surprised if a guy watching videos of her snorting, farting, and sniffing herself was into her? Okay, I'm sure he's a gem, first of all. But it's not uncommon for people to look at the behaviors like that in a certain way. To look at the kind of behavior she had around marriage. She was all about her. I found someone. I'm single. This is all because Natter's watching. You know, that's going to be the last point, but take it through this whole video. Natter is watching, or she believes he's watching every move, so she's crafting them to try to get his attention. I'll be moving to Montreal. I'll be doing this. Oh, not to get near him. There's just a lot to do in Montreal. You don't do anything where you live now. You don't leave the house. Just eat, get stoned, pay for hotel rooms so men will sleep with you. And that's her business, and that's, you know, her life. But to call it anything other than exactly what it looks like is dishonest. It is. So, going forward, met him online the other day. Official boyfriend, they had never met at the time that they were officially together. I mean, you could tell someone on the other side of the world anything. I don't know if he imagines that this is the kind of crowd she has around her and the kind of reputation she has. He'll find out, and maybe he did, which is why it was over the next day. That or the fat fish pictures with, you know, with someone she's less heavily made up. Recently, it makes me feel like she took a filter off, maybe 2. But she looks different on camera than she does in person. Now, we all do. You know, it's just a thing. You know how people hate the sound of their own voice on recorders and stuff? Like, everyone wants to have the things Chantal says she wants, but she chases them away. You know, what can she say? She's loyal? No, she cheats. She's honest? She lies like she breathes. You know, she has money? That's a very shallow, sad way to say, this is my collateral bringing into the relationship. I make money doing this. And the idea that someone would not do the kind of things that she does for money is lost on her. She thinks they're either too stupid or they're snobs who think they're better than her. Not just people watching thinking, this is really unusual. And 3 days later, she said it didn't happen at all. So it's hard to follow with Chantal. It's been a lot, actually, because the live's up, down. She's having interactions with other people more than she usually does interact, like doing panel discussions, things like that. And she gets her ass handed to her, usually. So she chose this man. His name starts with an M. It's Metin, something similar like that. Like I said, men of one day, and the next day they were going to get together. She did the whole overblown, I'm taken. I'm taken. Nope. Within a day it was over. He's just not that into you, Chantal. Just read the room, okay? After a day, what did they see? What do these guys see that changes their minds so quickly? Whoa, I wonder what. Could it be heavily doctored fixtures that make her look 150 pounds thinner? And get rid of the rosacea and get rid of everything? People tune up their appearance. I mean, people wear makeup, they dye their hair, they make all sorts of alterations. I'm not criticizing her for getting, you know, made up on camera. But the majority of time, she's not. And if she is, she's going out with a date who just happens to live in Lachine. Okay. When she's upset, like we're talking about, we'll go into platforming in a second, but when she's upset that she's accused of something, recently her best defense is, with anything she did with Natter, good, bad, whatever, it was done under duress because she was, at the time, she alleged being abused. So she's found the golden ticket to absolve herself of all personal responsibility for a year. Because she makes her decisions based on who they'll impress, who she's trying to get back at, spite, like all that kind of stuff. And primarily, it's still all at Natter, and she's still mad at Dee Dee. If she says nice things about Dee Dee, which she did a little bit this week, I don't know if it was a full-on apology, but she had some nice things to say, and she mentions Natter in any way that sort of defends him, she's back. She's trying to go to Montreal, or she's already there, so she's trying to keep her nose clean so he doesn't get upset with her, that she talks about every detail of his private life. I shouldn't know what STDs your fake boyfriend had. Or you. It's irresponsible to do that. It's socially irresponsible. But when's the last time Chantal thought of society as a whole and her contributions to it? So one of the best ways to kind of go about Chantal is to think about the situation she got herself in, where she posted on her community board that she was already thinking about coming home and getting into her jammies and beezing and drinking cheese or whatever, indicating that she was currently out on a date. Well, Pete's old boy, old person, we're all just individuals. No sarcasm, actually, kind of, whatever. So he blows up her spot. Someone asked in his chat, is Chantal home? And he said, oh yeah, she's home. Then you hear pee, and the phone goes silent, and all of a sudden there's no audio. Then he comes back and says, oh, she's on her way to her date. When she left indication that she was already there, she hadn't even left the house yet. The next day, the bullshit that pulled for, it was incredible. Talking to her beezers and trying to say, it's not what, I understand how you guys got confused, but that's not how it was. That is a textbook example of gaslighting, telling people to not believe what they see with their own eyes and tell them they must be wrong. They must have misinterpreted it. You must be mistaken because this is what really happened. Trying to dodge the blame onto people who are upset about anything that she did. That's shitty. I'm sorry, it's straight up shitty. It's a moral call I'm making, but when you treat people poorly, I don't feel kindly to you. Even if there's a context, Chantal is a deeply disturbed, emotionally unstable, polysubstance dependent individual. There's plenty of people like that get better. Mark and I went and gave talks today at a recovery event because people do get out of their shit. I've seen sicker people than Chantal get better. That's what's, if anything, frustrating to me. Like, you've got money, you've got resources, you know, get your health in order and go kick ass. But she's just not interested. It's too much work. So the next thing that we're going to go into, Repsian, whose name I've been butchering, like I said, all day. And I'm going to just go over kind of the bullet points of that because it leads into the talk about platforming. So Natter came onto this. This guy is a bigger channel, 700,000 plus subscribers. Is that what it is? And it came onto his radar, it was the first time I had heard of him, that he was kind of had a hard-on for Natter. And certainly anyone could understand why. Abusive, despicable, you know, not that he's an ex-con, but that he might be on his way to being a current con soon. You know, most people don't have this much police interaction, hers or his. It's not how that usually goes. So she is trying to defend herself against Repsian, who was saying, you platformed an abuser, you not discussed me, but you platformed an abuser. Let's not call it anything other than what it is. There's a very malleable definition, according to Chantal, of pretty much every word, but also of platforming. So, because Natter came on his radar and Chantal can't help herself, she went on the radar. She released a couple rage streams about it, just when you think she's over it, she's mad again. And he'd released some information, and apparently this coming week, Repsian's going to release another video with some of the evidence that was found here and there. He was putting a video together, if it's not up already, about clips pulled from her video where she talks about how she did everything with Natter's channel. He wouldn't have it without her. I gave you an audience. So assisting someone, let's say it's not platforming. It's assisting an abuser on a platform. You know, and her defense of this is really, really shitty. It is. Because it sounds like you kind of want to take her side with it, but you don't. So she did all these things that were alleged, and her rebuttal towards, I didn't platform him, I didn't put him up or anything like that, first of all, was anybody can get a YouTube channel, and she made like this stupid childish video about it. She plays dumber than well, she's not playing, but there's some areas where she plays dumb. And I think this was one of the areas. Like any reasonable person who thinks, well, no, maybe she wouldn't. I should have caught myself there with any reasonable person. She's hiding behind the fact that she did all these things with Natter by saying she was under duress and in an allegedly abusive relationship alleged to the rest of us at the time. So she wasn't in full control of her choices because she was being influenced. So Chantal has just taken herself off the hook for a year's worth of behavior. Overate? Victim. Ran over a squirrel or two? Victim. It's always about how upsetting something is to her. It doesn't occur to her how she impacts other people's feelings. Maybe it doesn't, she doesn't care. Or maybe, as it's been suggested, she doesn't really have emotions like the rest of us. Like there's something personality-wise that sticks out. I mean, I used to say everyone knows a Cynthia, but not everybody knows a Chantal, at least not this side of the dirt. So her saying she was a victim and that her actions are not her responsibility is the stupidest thing I ever heard. She's pulling abuse victims in front of her and wearing them as a shield when confronted about her own behavior. I'm not going to go back into the details of was she abused, was she not abused, was it this, what it's that. All I know is I would not know who Natter was unless she dropped his name, promoted his channel, did all the videos, and had a crazy psychodrama with him too. He's somebody else's now. You know, I won't say loser, you know, but it's what it is. And it's becoming, I think, less about love and more about pride. I will not be outdone. This woman will not come in, take my man, and leave. She done did it and left. And you can tell your story to the VIBs. But other people are kind of like going on with their life. She thinks he watches all her videos. And then she thinks she can tell. But if she's not communicating with him, then how would she know? She did text Dee Dee during the course of the week, which is a way to connect to Natter. And, you know, it was a weak moment. I didn't know what was going on. I would kill to have an excuse like that. That's like me saying, I couldn't help but missing work this year because I was drunk. Yeah, it's hard to work when you're drunk. Don't drink. And you can still have the other parts of your life. Mark will be joining us just by and by to give us some Twitter updates of what's current, because there's even juicy stuff happening as we speak. So, many women go back to their abusers. Many women go back over and over again. Many women, you know, with the gentleman they're with, say, you know, I've done everything for you, you've done nothing for yourself, and then when called on the carpet for doing everything for him and his channel, I wasn't involved. I just created the content, posted it, showed him how to collect monetization. He wouldn't have got monetized. He wouldn't have hit 1,000 subscribers with that horseshit video. Imagine him, no Dee Dee, just him filming in that kitchen, grunting, butchering food, poisoning the masses. You know, who would any of us know him if she hadn't brought him into the circle? She's not responsible for his behavior. He's a scumbag on his own. He's an ex-con for something that was a violent crime. You know, those are things Natter did. She supported this person who had done these things. And then she gets pulled back and says, well, I didn't condone all that. I'm like, well, you said, you know, oh, no, it's all Natter's fault. He's this, he that, blah, 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 blah. So, all right. Again, not going to go, like, too deep into the definition of victim, but she uses it really fast and loose, as usual. And as a defense, I couldn't help it. I was acting under duress. It was a weak moment. It was a weak 12 months. Nobody intervened to say maybe it's not a good idea. People who are in abusive situations do sometimes leave and come back. They also don't have the kind of support she does. This is not about providing Chantal with help when you're in her chat. It's about indulging her crap. And if that helps her sleep at night, sure. But I mean, the rest of us aren't searching the globe for a partner when you live in a large metropolitan area and plan to move to another one. Not that she'll leave the house. But in theory, it sounds like she's moving on. She's not moving on. She's moving closer to what she left because she said she didn't want to be around it because it was abusive. So whenever it's kind of convenient for her, she's a victim. And when it's not convenient, she had nothing to do with it. So her actions were a function of her victimhood from Natter, apparently. But when she's talking to Natter, she says, you wouldn't have shit without me. So doesn't that sound like you do something for someone? I mean, is helping a known abuser better than platforming? Is it like, oh, I didn't do as much? She knows how much work she did. And she knows no one knows how much work she did. So she'll say it's a lot, like I said, it's a lot of work when she wants credit. But it's all his fault when she doesn't. She blames it on, I mean, there's always an excuse. Mental health, Timbit. She mentioned grandma this week. How grandma, apparently there were some things of there were some things of Chantal's grandmother that she said they're trying to pawn off on her. Lovely memories of Graham. And one of them was a really freaky looking doll. She had that too. But it's the same. in the same sense. Like, no, thank you. No, oh, I missed Grandma. Thank you. This is so nice. It was a freaky looking doll, but do you have to be so glib about it? I mean, she allegedly loved her grandmother more than anybody and did plenty of things for her. And da 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 da. So, I don't know. Not saying, that's one of the things I'll say. She didn't deserve to have someone die in her family, but that's not a deserve thing. People live or they die. That's just what that is. So, going, I don't know how she's going to try to do this. She's got to tap dance really, really fast to distract from this. Chantal tap dancing would take away attention from this, actually. And then pray that the next thing that comes down the pike from Repsian isn't too awful. People know she's awful, and there's 90,000 of them who know it and watch. So, that's not going to go away. She might get more attention from this bit of attention she's getting from him. Like, she'll get a pop of viewers. Even Nader will get some, probably, too. And then it's hard to say, will that all go up, like she hits 100,000 and then it drops off completely? Or will it rise up and more people get interested in the train wreckiness of it, if that's a word, and start following along? It looks like it could be both good for her in the beginning and also bad. She's going to be well shown in terms of the audience. She'll have maybe a bigger one than she has of her own. And then she'll just have to, what could she say? The evidence I saw that people were offering like proof and screenshots and Zempian and the post he had where he was at first not that concerned with Chantal, but given her freak out and rage stream, was on board to say, hey, you put yourself on my radar as a public person, and the only information that you're going to be using is from clips from the video, primary sources, then how can you call him a liar? How can you say you didn't do it? It's on camera. I know we're in the post-truth era where things are called fake news when we don't like what's being said, but especially on YouTube, it's horse shit. Especially on YouTube. God. And so as we keep moving forward with this, all of this, my opinion, me, Steve, is still all to get Nader's attention. Whether it's, being nice in a video to Dee Dee, so there will be a favorable feeling towards her, so she can come over and buy groceries for two people she doesn't like and wants nothing to do with. If that's not trying to, if you can't even throw your money at people and have them take it, they're not going to take anything else. If that's the highest selling point, then it's, So, she thinks he's watching every video and is getting jealous because of all her many, many men. The boatloads of men. She's down at the docks waiting for the sailors to come in. Again, the difference between attractive and available. Some men aren't so discerning. And if they were really into her, these things would last more than a day. It's either her online behavior, her real self, which she's texting, or she just blows smoke and plays games. For someone who says they want to find someone, when they can't, they say they want to stay single. That's like when ugly people say they're celibate. I'm celibate! Yeah, I'm sure. Off topic anyway. So, still trying to get digs, and again, she goes back and forth with talking favorably of Dee Dee and trashing her completely. Going the route of, I hate the woman who my man picked over me, rather than the man who dumped you. If someone continues to victimize themselves by returning to an abusive situation, and we're not talking about Chantal's little spin on it of, a lot of women go back. A lot of men, abuse victims will go back. It's familiar. It's comfortable. It might be better than the reality they're going home to. But, I mean, I know the kind of abusive stuff he did. I don't doubt he smacked both of them. But he also didn't drive to Ottawa, to her neighborhood, and peek in the windows, or call 1,000 times a night, or summon the police to her house because a piece of his property was in there. So, they didn't have kids, they weren't living together. I mean, Dee Dee has a better case probably than Chantal, because Chantal is just talking to some dude online. And when her feelings get hurt, she tries to enact revenge by having systems go at a person, sending her mob, the Knights of Chantal, over to create mess and create drama. It's YouTube. I know YouTube's messy. I mean, let me not be Chantal. Chantal tends to generalize from the part to the whole. All women feel this way. All victims feel this way. No, we don't. Not a woman, been a victim. Not everyone feels the same way, and not everyone blames all their behavior over a long period of time on that. I suspect that she kind of knows some of that's bullshit, but I also, like, she knows what's going on, but she also has so little insight that I think when she pulls back to look at the situation, she doesn't see her part in anything. So why would she see her part in this? It just wouldn't be. Everything is a reaction to someone's behavior or impulsive. She has absolved herself of responsibility for her actions. What do you say to a person like that? They'll lie to your face and say, I know. What are you going to do? You know, and the Beezers want to have a friend so bad that they think they're all friends. Like if she says my name in the chat, oh, we're besties. Chantal doesn't seem to have a relationship with her subs. Like in the comment section, community posts, she would arrange different kind of contests and things to do. Has anyone gotten a fucking postcard yet? Anybody? Show of hands. So, all the things she's doing now and has done since Nader and her quote-unquote broke up, are meant to get his attention, and I don't think they're getting his attention, so she's getting a little more outlandish. If I was Nader, I'd be, like, kind of mad at Chantal, because if she did promote him and help him get together, it put him on the radar as a bad guy. You know, he probably felt like he wasn't that bad of a boyfriend, or that he's a good cook and a good chef and a good lover and a good source of social disease. It's really not going, like, the fake boy. I'm just repeating myself because it's the same thing every week. Fake boyfriends, fake plans. I met a man I'm in love with. We broke up the next day because he saw me in person. And, you know, like I said, the fat fishing doesn't help. I used to fat fish and age fish. When I was 22, I was using my senior yearbook photo. And believe I wore a hat because I was about this bald when I was 25. Guy today said, how old are you? I said 40. He's like, you look mid-30s. Took my hat off. He's like, never mind. So, all right. Well, to get back with what's current, because we were going over a long period, and also as we're going forward, please, if I need a correction or there's a bit of information I left out that was like super important, please feel free to comment below if there's anything of that sort. My research was better than other times, not as good as others, so I really just want to have this be a stop where you can get good info, and I don't want to spread fake news myself. So call me out if need be. I'm no better than anybody in that realm. So now we're going to have a little look at what's going on Twitter and what's current and what's happening. So I'm going to bring Mark in here for this, and then, well, I'll be back after that to close up. All right. Mark?
Yeah.
Could you come over here, please?
Oh, yeah, my turn. Okay.
It's you. You're off deck. You're on.
Hey guys, hey, Mark here, and I have all the news on what people are talking about over on Twitter with our favorite gal, right? How are you anyway? I missed you last week. It's really nice to see you. Anyway, so we're not gonna talk about the a few still trending things going on there. You know, like Repsians. You know, Steven pretty much covered that all already. And I have to say, I'm totally digging it. I really, really am. I love it. Oh, but yeah, you know what? He already talked about that, so there's no need to mention that here. And of course, you know, why talk about her current drug use? Yes, it's still going on. Polysubstances, and I don't see an end to that anytime soon. But one can hope, okay? I mean, really, one can hope, all right? And of course, we're not going to talk about the obvious still infatuation with Mr. Nats, okay? But we are going to talk about all the use of filters. I'm sorry, that picture, it just makes me laugh. I don't know why, but it just does. Well, it's a funny picture, right? So, people are talking all about it, her continued use and overuse of these filters. Now, look, I'm going to say there's one thing about using filters to, you know, maybe set some ambiance or something, or maybe to correct a blemish or something, right? But boy, this overuse of filters that she does is quite, I'll say, remarkable. I had no idea filters could do that, right? But what is curious about this is that she still wonders why she can't get an honest, quality man in her life. I mean, come on. She advertises one thing, and they think they're gonna get that, and then they get something completely different, right? I don't know. Whatever. Each to their own. And next up, Chantal's getting evicted? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, here's the story with that. So, Chantal has expressed that she wants to move, right? Yeah, to Montreal, by the way. Go figure. And people are talking about whether or not she's doing this on her own or if she has indeed been evicted. Well, I'll tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if she was evicted. I mean, have you seen the villa? I mean, come on. There's only so much a realty company can take, okay? And I do suspect no matter if she leaves because she's evicted or if she just leaves on her own, I do suspect she won't be getting that security deposit back. In fact, she may actually owe a couple bucks at the end of it. Well, I'm sad to say that I really don't think we'll know the truth in this at all unless it slips out. I mean, come on, she's not like the brightest bulb out there, okay? It might slip out, but time will tell, okay? Let's hope we do know whether she was evicted or just moving on her own. And that leads us into our next topic. Oh yes, Chantal wants to move to Montreal, and it's not because of Natter. Okay, I know this is overdone and oversaid, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Sure, Jan. Okay, come on. And yes, people are talking about it. Definitely talking about this one. And most people do agree she's moving there because of him. I mean, come on. Everything this woman does is because of him. I mean, whether it's to make him jealous or try to influence him. Well, you know what I'm saying, right? Everything she does is in some relationship to him, okay? And you know what? Miss FB's, we'll say, obsession with him, it's not sad. It's not sad anymore at all. It's actually pretty disgusting. Come on. This man is a scumbag. He really is. He is an abuser, a womanizer, a liar, and I guess one could argue that it is sad, but I find it disgusting. Just my opinion. So I guess we'll see. Will she or will she not move to Montreal? Will she or will she not move at all? Is she being evicted or is she not being evicted? And will she continue to use these filters? I guess we'll see. Oh yes, on the other side of the fupa, Mr. Nads is growing a beard. Okay, does anybody really care? Really? I mean, but people are talking about it. Yes, they are. But I have to say, more people are talking all about his crystal meth chic shirtless body. I mean, come on. Why does this man always refuse to wear a shirt? Why is he always shirtless? I mean, do we really need to see that? I don't know. Maybe somebody thinks it's attractive. Someone. Just saying. I don't know. And he's still making subpar lasagnas, acting like a professional. I just have to say one thing about this, you can grow a beard to change your appearance, but you know what? You still are you. And I don't think we need to recap what kind of you that is. Right? Oh, I just can't wait to see those beard hairs in his next lasagna. I don't know, maybe that's his special little ingredient. What do you think? Okay, and for my favorite Twitter quote of the week regarding Miss FB. And this one was posted by Old Trish, and she says she shouldn't be so hard on herself. It's not just men, that are ashamed to be seen with her. And that, of course, is referring to Foodie Beauty's video of the same name. Men are ashamed to be seen with me, and I have to agree with this, old Trish. I really, really do. I would think most people would be ashamed to be seen with her, right? I don't know. Just saying. All right, and that's what people are talking about on Twitter this week. Thanks so much for listening to me. I'm having a blast doing this. And, let's keep that conversation going, especially if I missed something or if I made a mistake, okay? Definitely keep it going over on Twitter or in the comments below, okay? All right, I'm gonna let you go now. Steve, you have anything more to say? A little. Such enthusiasm, right? All right, well, I'm done. It's all you. See you later, guys.
All right, thank you, Mark. So, where have we? What the fuck's going on? I'm not optimistic for her, as I'm usually not. I'll be curious to see what else comes from Repzion. Just to see what kind of is put together. Chantal is impervious to criticism. She'll look at a video where she said something and say, "I didn't misspeak. All of you misunderstood." She's very, well, that's popular in America now. But so it goes. So we'll see what the men look like. We'll see if she moves. The villa. That place is going to be so much money to move out because it's filthy. And we'll see what ends up, we'll see how much of her plans happen within a week. It's usually none. So we'll take it from there. So thank you all for joining us. It's nice to be back after a couple weeks off. Feel free to comment below as you like. Follow us on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, Facebook, SmokeySteve_and_Marc. Our email address and contact info is below as well. Thank you again, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow night. We go live at 6 p.m. Eastern. Open chat, no topic, just hanging out. So if you're free tomorrow night at 6 Eastern, please don't hesitate to stop by. All right, thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.